Welcome back to another episode of Reality TV Mystery Theater, where in this week's episode, we are attempting to uncover the truth of whether or not Kelli slept with the married pastor who is also a client of Phaedra's, as told to us by Porsha Williams. Woo! Sky Squad, we're back in the building. Okay, so Kelli, I had seen yesterday, had made a post that she was going to go live at a specific time. Now, I wasn't present for the live. Shout out to our friends over at Reality Entertainment TV. They did happen to catch what she had to say with regards to these pastor accusations. This is feeling like a Lifetime movie, to be quite honest with you. And this was something that we mentioned yesterday in our recap for the show. So if you missed that, go back and watch it. But we talked about how people were trying to go down Phaedra's following list to make a determination as to who the pastor is. Okay. So I had seen people put names in the chat. But there's a question that I think we also have to ask ourselves as people are going down this rabbit hole. And I'm going to ask that question after we play a little bit of Kelli's live. So let's get into what she had to say.
Received some really disturbing messages, really disturbing DMs. And one thing I don't do is break up anybody's home or anyone's business or anyone's relationship. That is not my thing. It's never been my thing. Regardless what I have been through in my marriage, I was a wife for 11 years. And when it comes to cheating and when it comes to things pertaining to a family, that bothers me and that affects me. So I just want to say this. I'm not going to call out any person. I'm not calling out a pastor. I'm not calling out a name. I'm literally just telling you guys, at the end of the day, this is a show and it's all fun and games. But when I have people sending me messages about their families and their congregations, I want no parts of this, right? Y'all ain't gonna get me banned from church. I want to still be able to go to church and I want to still be able to receive.
Okay. So the headline reads, "This is a show and it's all fun and games, but when I have people sending me messages about their families and their congregations, I want no parts of this."
To praise and worship, okay? So this list that's going around and you guys tagging these pastors and tagging congregations, it has to stop. Enough is enough. I don't play it. I don't like it. It's not fun. And these are people's real livelihoods. And I have had to deal with someone affecting my real livelihood on this show. Okay. So let's cut it out. Okay. I'm not a part of the Mile High Club. I'm not interested in a pastor. I'm not interested in sleeping with anybody's husband. I am very much happy with who I'm with and what's going on. Enough is enough, y'all. Okay?
Enjoy the show.
Like literally, no, seriously, enjoy the show. Y'all got this whole list of pastors going around. Y'all got pastors sending me messages and DMs and emails and at congregation. Y'all cut this out. Seriously. I mean, at the end of the day, y'all got this whole list of pastors that's going on. Y'all need to literally, at this point, make a donation on Sunday to praise and.
So she's basically telling us here that some of the audience, clearly not anyone on this channel, clearly no one on this channel is in the comments tagging pastors and congregations. And we're going to talk about why I would not rush to do that if I were you.
Because, yeah, I mean, seriously, y'all need to make a donation on Sunday and keep it moving. Okay? Like, enough is enough. I don't want any parts of it. I will deal with freak and fraud at reunion. Okay? And that's it. Let's grow up. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy the show and just leave it at that. But leave me out of it. Make a donation to these people churches. Okay? All these people, all this list, Pastor Jamal Bryant, let me be very clear, y'all. And I want to clear that up too. I'm a Be More girl. I went to Pastor Jamal Bryant's church when it was in a, in a college auditorium, okay? This man actually renewed my 10-year vow renewals to my ex-husband. Stop, y'all. Enough is enough, okay? Candy, come back down here because these hoes is lying. And in the words of Jamal Bryant, these hoes ain't loyal. Bye. Because
I think what we have
the praise and receive.
Okay. Notice the freak and fraud reference. This is what Nene infamously called Porsha and Phaedra shortly after season 9, when the allegations about Candy wanting to allegedly give Porsha some substances and then take her down to the basement or the dungeon and have her way with Porsha. That was allegedly told to Porsha by Phaedra. Phaedra allegedly heard that from someone in production. That was always the theory. That was always what we had heard. Okay. Now, that was also, I think, the reason why she also brought up Candy. Okay. So, this is what I want to say to you guys is yesterday's video, I said I knew this was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen the moment that it was said that it was a pastor and that it was Phaedra's client. I said, I already know. I already know where this is going. I got to admit to y'all, back when Candy said that people were calling her Bill Cosby and calling her all those names, and she revealed that at the reunion, and she got super emotional and upset and frustrated. And I personally, because I wasn't seeing those comments, that came as a shock to me. I didn't really believe that people were actually believing much of what was being said on the show. I just didn't. So I didn't think anybody took any real credence to it, but apparently people did. Okay. That was, I think, my first clue of where these shows can at times take people in terms of how serious people take the show. And I for one, am always like, be passionate about the show. Absolutely. I would never tell you not to be passionate about it. But I would also caution you to exercise some level of decorum when it comes to how you react and respond to stories that are portrayed on social media. Because at the end of the day, we have to also establish whether or not we truly believe the story that Porsha has told us. Do you take that same story as gospel? We don't know, right? We don't know. We know what Porsha has said, but we also know how crazy the story sounds. But again, as we have seen, Atlanta is kind of a small place. It sounds like in terms of the elite dating pool for reality TV stars, Africans, and pastors. I don't know. But because we can only speculate, even if it is true, that doesn't mean that you should be tagging these people because you still don't know the full story. Right? And I just think that let's watch this play out and see what happens. Because if we are to take this to be gospel, the story that Porsha is telling us, did you also believe last year that Drew was banging Dennis for beats? Did you believe that Dennis and Drew had a thing going on? Because that was the allegation last year. Did you believe that? I know some things are happening. I know that for me, I guess I do have an opinion, but that opinion is also still being developed because I'm questioning why isn't Phaedra upset that Porsha revealed that this was one of her married pastor clients. Some of you in the chat didn't understand why I was even focusing on that, because you were more centered on you should be thinking about the pastor's wife and the congregation. And I was thinking to myself, no, that would first have to mean that I believe and took this story as gospel, which I'm not really clear on that I do. The second thing is I am focused on the story that's playing out and the characters on the screen. So the people that I can see with my own two eyes on the screen are Phaedra, Porsha, and Kelli in this situation. And I am wondering, based on story patterns, because that's what I look for, whether or not I understand why Phaedra would not be upset if you are telling my client's business. I'm wondering, why, Phaedra, are you confirming any of this? I would be sitting there like on mute. No, girl, do not put me in this. I don't know what you're talking about. Because what you're not going to do is affecting my business. It's one thing for you to state what you think or what you think he does. But don't put me and my business, which is my money, on the line unless none of it's true. Then there's no need to be upset. So I guess I'm just saying, ask yourself questions before going online and attacking people. Y'all be attacking this girl's looks and stuff like that. It's just not that serious. I can't quite imagine anybody who watches this channel is contributing to making vulgar comments about the way any of these characters or these cast members look personally, right? Outside of, oh, I didn't like her dress, I didn't like her ponytail, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm just feeling like sometimes y'all take things a little further than I feel like they should really go on this show, and with shows in general when we get in the middle of the season. And I just want you to exercise a bit of restraint when it comes to how you process the story. Okay, next. I want to talk about, or I also want to talk about this. I don't know if you guys have caught this, but our friends over at No Chaser TV, they actually did an interview with Kelli in her place of business. And they asked her about the origins of her beef with Porsha. She says that Porsha did an Amazon Live. I remember this Amazon Live. I remember it distinctly. It was done, I think, as they were starting to film. And Porsha had mentioned this girl, Kel, that she didn't really know about her, but we'll see. Now, apparently, Kelli took to that in some way, shape, or form. And that is why in the scene, you see her asking Porsha about, did you take that girl's husband? Now, I didn't think what Porsha said was that bad, to be honest with you. I just felt like it was, I don't know about her. But in the scene, you hear them arguing about whether or not Porsha actually knows her. And I think what Kelli is arguing in that scene is, and they showed the scene, so you need to watch this clip. Kelli is saying, well, you know who I am. You know me, because Porsha's like, I don't even know you. And Kelly's like, you know who I am. And I think what Kelli was referring to was that Amazon Live. So this is where Kelli says the beef started from. Again, I didn't take it as being that bad. I didn't take what Porsha said as that bad. You just don't know how people perceive things. So that's Kelli's story. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Last story is this. Baby, first of all, this scene between Shamia and Angela having a one-on-one in the next coming episode, it's interesting to me when I see Angela and Shamia go at it, because I, for some reason, feel like they get the best of each other in a read-off. And I personally feel like, I don't know about this one, Angela. I think y'all might, we might have to call this one a bit of a draw, like the first time y'all got into it. With the 99 no's and Shamina. This is giving, they're trying to come to some resolution about what their issues are. And the first thing that you hear Shamia say is, I mean, you talk about you have a gift of discernment. I mean, why don't you use that discernment to sell some houses? Use it to handle the beef with the people that you actually have beef with, which in my mind is actually Porsha. But, and I only say that because every episode, Angela mentions Porsha and this Charles thing, and she is not over it. So I'm not sure why she's holding Shamia's feet so close to the fire, because I feel like she needs to really handle that issue that she has. Even though it should be moved past, she's been able to forgive. As Shamia articulates in her confessional, Angela has been able to forgive Phaedra for the whole situation that she couldn't necessarily prove to be Phaedra. She has forgiven Porsha for saying what she said, but Angela has not forgiven Shamia for laughing at Porsha for saying it, even though Shamia has also apologized. Angela's whole argument is that she feels like unjustified. Well, she feels justified in her anger towards Shamia because she feels like Shamia is blaming her for the demise of her and Portia's friendship. And I love that Shamia says to her, I'm not here to talk about Porsha. I'm not talking about Porsha. I'm here to talk about me and you, and why you keep saying that K Michelle, while I'm influencing K Michelle, or I'm running back and telling her stuff and putting stuff in her ear. Now, this is where things get interesting. Of course, Angela, she wants to get back to the Porsha situation, which is odd to me. And then they talk about, well, why did we get here? And they flash back to Shamia talking about Porsha at the reunion and going to Drew and Angela talking about it. But Drew and Angela also asked about the situation. Listen, here's the thing. Shamia should definitely have known better than to talk to them about anything. But I also think to a certain degree that, I don't think that they really minded that they put the, that little bit of tea in the atmosphere to help the friendship disintegrate. But I also know that friendship was going to disintegrate regardless, because you could just tell. Now, with regards to that, I do want you guys to lighten up a little bit with regards to your comments on the show, because some of the comments are getting a little unhinged. And y'all might say K Michelle is looking crazy, but I think at some point, if you go back and look at some of your comments about these people, like you might regret it at some point. So y'all give everybody a little bit more grace to watch and see how these stories play out. Yes, we do talk about these things. We surmise, we pontificate, we speculate, but I don't want you guys to fall into the trap of becoming super mean about how you think about these shows, because then you take away the fun for yourself and you take away some of the fun for others, and then it just doesn't become a fun thing. So keep it fun, y'all. Speculate in the comments. Think what you think. Give us your thoughts. There's a phrase at the church that I go to. They'll be like, be nice in the parking lot. Because everybody be trying to leave at the same time. And it's like you can get the Holy Ghost and the Spirit in church, but then you turn out into a banshee in the parking lot because somebody didn't cut you off. No. So y'all be nice in the parking lot. That's it. All right. With that being said, I will see some of you guys in our Faceless content class tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is in the description or in the pinned comments. So if you're looking to make Faceless content, y'all, tonight is the night that you definitely want to be there in the building, because I'm going to give you the play. I'm going to give you templates, and I'm going to make it easy for you to get started today. Okay. With that being said, I will catch you in the next video.